Hello world, Prince here, and welcome to my channel, Gentlemen and Scholars, where we discuss literature, style, personal development, and so much more. Alright, so for today's topic, I wanted to go over how to use positive body language to build your confidence and additionally build attraction. Some of the topics that we're going to be discussing today are things such as, general physiology, the use of hands, and how this builds both rapport and also builds trust. Additionally, we're going to go over eye contact, right? Which is really crucial when you're talking about building connections with people. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So when we talk about general physiology, what does this make you think of? For me, this makes me think of how an individual carries themselves. So what I mean by that is, if you see somebody that's in a negative mind state, maybe they're having a bad day, maybe they're sad, maybe they're depressed, this will really show in their general physiology, right? Really what that indicates is they're in a negative emotional state. It really highlights the way that they feel about themselves as well. Their shoulders might be hunched over. This is a defensive mechanism that protects the internal organs from any harm. This is discussed thoroughly in the definitive book of body language, which I recommend everybody read. So really being able to correct this negative habit of hunching your shoulders over will really increase your emotional state and allow you to be more confident going into different situations. So Tony Robbins also speaks on this topic as well. He likes to highlight that in order to maintain a negative state, you have to have the physiology to go along with this. An exercise that he had his students do. He made his students maintain positive body language, maintain a confident frame, also smile and giggle and laugh at the same time. And before they knew it, they were in a better emotional state. So that just further reinforces the idea that you need to be in negative body language in order to maintain that negative emotional state. When I think about negative body language, I also think about head placement as well. When you see somebody that's upset or maybe going through a tough time, what happens, right? They might duck their head and they might sort of hide their face. You definitely want to make sure to definitely keep your head up, definitely maintain positive, healthy posture. One, for health implications, right? You don't want scoliosis, you don't want back problems. But this will also allow you to build that confidence as well. Also be able to maintain that through different interactions. So it's definitely something that I keep in the back of my mind, and I make little adjustments throughout the day as well. So if I'm feeling ups and downs throughout the day, I start to feel myself hunch over, I'll correct that. Open myself back up, sort of try and maintain that through the day. So these are little adjustments that you can make, but it'll make a big impact on your life. As you all know, we all have different responsibilities that also contribute to this poor posture. These things can be you going to the gym. I know for me, I go through this a lot. If I hit a chest workout, a lot of times, that tightness in the chest can force my shoulders to hunch forward. If you're working a job that requires, you to be at a computer or, do a lot of desk work, you want to make sure that you're also accommodating your health as well. So maybe a standing desk or maybe buying little add-ons for your laptop to allow you to maintain a positive posture. That'll be key as well. Something else that you want to be cognizant about as well is the use of your hands. Hands are crucial if you're trying to, build rapport, and additionally create trust. In the definitive book of body language, they really talk about the importance of using your hands when you speak, but also how you use them. So what you want to do is try and always speak with your palms open. And what does this look like, right? This kind of looks like that scene when the cop comes in and busts the robber, and the robber throws his hands up. He's like, all right, you caught me. Why the body reacts this way is because, it really indicates like, hey, I'm telling the truth, and also, hey, you can trust me. So when you're trying to build trust, you're trying to create rapport, you definitely want to make sure that you're keeping them open and not closing yourself off to indicate that, you're hiding something. So when it comes to hands, another thing that you want to be cognizant of is the handshake. And this can actually reveal a whole lot about a person, right? So the way that they shake your hand is actually very important. So let me go over a few things here. So you have scenario number one. The individual shakes your hand, the hands are side by side, even keel, so to speak. Well, what this indicates is that this individual respects you and there's a mutual respect there. You have scenario number two. You sort of go for a handshake, but you go for an underhand sort of handshake. Well, believe it or not, this actually puts you at a position of weakness. Whether you meant it intentionally or not, that individual now perceives you as somebody that's weaker than them. And more than likely, they're gonna test you on this again just to make sure. And then that's where the problem comes, right? So you wanna definitely make sure that you're not doing this. And for the last scenario, scenario number three, there's a scenario where you do the overhand handshake. This communicates dominance, but can sort of be overbearing. So I stay away from this. I try to keep with the even handshake. It's great for building rapport. Additionally, it's good to pay attention to hands when you're talking about attraction as well. If you have a particular love interest and you see them sort of revealing the underside of their hand, somebody that's comfortable with you, more than likely they're attracted to you. This underside, right below where the hand is, that is the area that releases pheromones males pick up on, and they become even more attracted to the opposite sex. This is detailed extensively in the definitive book of body language. Like I said, I recommend everybody take a look at it, and I'll go ahead and link that below as well. Moving right along, the last tip I have for you guys today is the importance of maintaining positive eye contact. It is really the most important show of confidence, just because, it's one of the first things that you recognize when you meet an individual. What people typically do when they see somebody making eye contact is, they tend to look away. I get it. It can be sort of uncomfortable looking other people in the eye. But really, when you're talking about building connections, building rapport, building attraction, really, if you're talking about confidence, is something that's absolutely necessary. To give an example of what you should do when you encounter these situations is you should definitely look the person in the eye and just smile. It demonstrates, friendliness, and also is an invitation to start a conversation. If it's a female that you're interested in, it's an invitation to make an approach. So it's definitely something that you should not shy away from. So my best advice would be just to go out and just integrate this principle into your daily life and see the impacts that it has on you. A lot of people would just look away, but then you'll start to notice, a lot more people initiating conversations. You'll notice a lot more females that are attracted to you. So it's really just a matter of having that sensory acuity and being aware of the signs and then being able to mobilize on them. So I hope this was helpful for you, just like it's been helpful in my life. Okay, and that just about wraps this one up. So definitely make sure that you're integrating these principles into your life. If you have any questions for me, definitely feel free to give a shout. Definitely subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. It's very important. I'll leave a link in the description below regarding any text material that I reference in this video. Until next time, gentlemen and scholars.